planning and control process. So in an organization where the organization creates a plan or plans or budgets in order to do an activity, after doing this they enter into the real activity, and it is once the action has been done that we compare the actual activities with the planned activity in order to know the deviations. Let us now see what does we mean by control. Evaluating an organization can achieve control if it evaluates manager to determine how their performance should be rewarded or punished, evaluating operations to provide information as to whether they should be changed or not. So now let us see some sample performance report. Now this performance report is talking about the budgeted activities. So what should be the budgeted cost? So budgeted bottles were 5 million and the actual were also 5 million. But when we start comparing the cost incurred in various heads, so the cost of bottle should have been 1,500,000, whereas the actual cost incurred is 1,650,000. When we compare the ingredient cost, the budgeted cost was 400,000, whereas the actual cost incurred by the company was 450,000. If we compare the cost incurred on water, so the budgeted cost was 150,000, whereas the actual is 152,000. When we compare the labor cost, the budgeted cost was 300,000, whereas the actual cost was 295,000. The rent, the budgeted cost as well as the actual cost remain the same. Depreciation, the budgeted cost as well as the actual remained the same. And in other costs also, there was a rise in 1,000 rupees. So once we compare the budgeted cost with the actuals, we are able to find out the deviations, if any. So there is a deviation of 150,000 in cost of bottles. There is a deviation of 50,000 in ingredient cost, another 2,000 in water. So this is the increase in cost that the company has incurred. In the case of labor, there is a decrease in the labor cost by 5,000, and in other expenses again there is an increase of 1,000. So the sample performance report shows the comparison between the budgeted and the actual. The idea is to find out the deviations, if any. Deviation means the difference. The difference might come in positive or the difference might come in negative. The comparison between managerial and financial accounting. So the managerial accounting is basically done for internal purposes, whereas the financial accounting is for external use. In case of financial accounting, we make use of GAAP, whereas in managerial accounting, we do not refer to the GAAP principles. In the case of financial accounting, there is details of information, whereas in managerial accounting, for internal efficiency, operational efficiency, the detailing is to be done. Non-monetary information is not to be reflected in financial accounting, whereas in managerial accounting, we are also supposed to disclose the non-monetary information. And the financial accounts gets prepared once the activity is being done, whereas in management accounting or managerial accounting, we are planning for the future, and thus the emphasis is on the future rather than on the past.